Hi everyone, it's me, Morgan. This is my channel, Pisces Paperbacks, and it has been a while. The last video I posted was my January wrap-up, and I did not plan on taking a break, but I apparently did because it's now mid-March. Basically what happened is I read an entire book on the first day of February, and then I read about 50 pages of another book on the second day of February, and then on the third day of February I discovered the TV show Shameless. It is a show that has been on TV for the last 10 years, so I'm not treading new ground here, but I discovered it through videos on YouTube about a pairing, like a relationship on the TV show between Ian and Mikki, and I fell in love immediately and didn't read any books for the rest of February at all, and then I read nothing for the first couple weeks of March either. Well, okay, I didn't read any books. I have read so much Shameless fan fiction. It's honestly like appalling. If you've ever been on Archive of Our Own, it's organized 20 fics per page, and I sorted them by like most liked to least liked, and I went down and I basically read most of the ones on every page, and I am now on page like 120, so I'm like 2,500 fics in, and I've read most of those. I read like the equivalent of a novel and a half every day that I wasn't reading a book, but it was all fan fiction, and I have no regrets. I mean, obviously I had plans for February books that I wanted to read, so I regret not getting to those because I don't know when I'm going to get to them because my library holds ran out and everything, but I love Ian and Mikki so much that I like kind of don't regret it. Anyway, on Friday, today's Saturday, so yesterday, I decided, fuck it, I need to listen to something, and I had the audiobook for Harrow the 9th. If you remember, I read Gideon the 9th, the very first book I finished in this year, and I loved it. And I read Harrow the 9th yesterday, and I probably should have started this vlog while I was reading that because it was just like a day of highs and lows of emotion. But I loved it, and I was like, I feel like reading books again. So I also started a new job. So I am a cashier at ShopRite. Nothing like glamorous, but it's making some money. I started last week, and I have tomorrow off. So I decided that I'm going to do like a little bit longer than 24-hour reading vlog. Right now I'm getting caught up on all of the YouTube videos that I just did not watch during the last month because all of my energy and focus and attention was on Shameless, and I've really found that I get really into things like one at a time, and all I can focus on is that one thing. So I think I'm finally waning out of my Shameless moment a little bit to be a little bit more casual with it. I have a bunch of audiobooks that I want to finish soon, and these are my plans. I don't really plan on reading anything tonight, but I wanted to do this little intro clip, get a little communication there between us, and I will see you tomorrow with a little bit more information about the books that I'm planning on listening to or reading or whatever I'm planning on doing tomorrow, and it will be fun. So yeah. And I have Elsa here keeping me company while I watch all my YouTube videos. My watch later list on YouTube is literally like 250 videos long because I just haven't watched anything from anyone for like a whole month and a half because all I could think about was Shameless. Good morning and welcome to the actual day of this vlog. So I woke up at 7:45 to my alarm, and I usually wake up before my alarm. So I was like, that's weird. And then also I was fucking exhausted. I was like, I went to sleep at the normal time and I'm awake later than usual. So why am I? No, it's because there was freaking daylight savings today. So it wasn't actually 7:45, it was like 6:45 physically. I'm like, no wonder I was so tired. But I woke up and I started listening to Real Life by Brandon Taylor. It is a debut literary fiction contemporary about a Black grad student at a Midwestern university, And I got like 10% into it. It wasn't a very long book. Like, it's like, I think a 9-hour audiobook. And I just, honestly, I was bored. And I feel so bad because it's not a book that I would ever pick up, but it's a book that a lot of people really enjoyed last year, and I wanted to check it out. I wasn't vibing with it, so I feel a little bad. But I put that down and I picked up the audiobook for Indigo by Beverly Jenkins. So this is an audiobook that I actually started like last month, and I listened to the first couple hours of it while I was on walks like this. And it's definitely so far already my favorite of the Beverly Jenkins books I've read. I've read 3 other ones, and so I'm really excited about this one. It is a historical romance between a woman named Hester who lives in like a northern state, and a man whose name I don't remember because it's an audiobook and names are hard in audio, and he helps move freed slaves up the Underground Railroad into freedom in Canada, and she is like a stop on the Underground Railroad, and it's their romance. Oh my god, Marcy, stop pulling. I'm taking, I don't know if you can see her, but it is really cute so far. He gets injured in the very beginning, and she kind of like nurses him back to health, and he's like flirty, and it's just very, very sweet. And I think this is probably the first Beverly, because she does a lot of research, like historical research, and adding historical like facts and context into her books, and I think this is the first one where I really feel like it's 100% integrated well, because I know other people said that they don't feel like her romances can be info dumpy. I sometimes feel like her romances are a little info dumpy in terms of like historical information. That might be interesting for the reader to know, but I'm really enjoying this one so far, and I'm like 3 hours into the audiobook, so that's what I'm gonna do on this walk. Oh, something else. I kind of hate going on walks, but I found this app, and it's called Walk to Mordor, and it's clearly an app that somebody like made for themselves and their friends like 10 years ago and have not touched since, because it is the ugliest thing ever. But it basically has like the entire journey of the Lord of the Rings like mapped out mile by mile, like event by event, and you can like put in the miles that you walk, and it'll tell you, it'll like track your progress on the walk to Mordor. So I'm only like 12 miles in, so I've passed Tookland, and then I did something else, but right now I'm trying to get to the 3rd event, which is when Frodo and the other hobbits pass the Black Rider on the road to Bree, and that's 32 miles into the overall journey, so I still have like 20 miles to go. So the whole thing total is like 1,900 miles, so you know, I have a lot of road to cover, but we're getting there. I've made it home. I walked for about an hour, and it was very nice. It's just nice outside. Like, it's breezy and sunny and beautiful, but I am now 33% into Indigo, and I think what's really making the difference is that I love the hero in this, Galen. He is so like sexy and flirty, and I think this is really the first time I've in any of the Beverly Jenkins books that I've read where I really like felt the vibes from the hero. I always like the heroine. The heroines are always like independent and intelligent and interesting, but I have struggled with the either in Tempest, I thought that he was just like just plain toast. Like, he was so dry as a character, the hero in that one. And then in, I think it was Rebel, he was just like so cheesy. I didn't really like him. And then I don't remember the name of maybe Vivid. In Vivid, the hero, he was like fine. But this one, I'm really into it. I love him. He's cute. Hey, what's up? I'm back. It's much later. It's like 6 o'clock at night. And it's still sunny outside, which is like amazing, and I have not updated you for a while. So the last time I updated you was probably like 7 hours ago, and I hadn't finished Indigo yet. I was probably only like halfway through, maybe a little less, but I've since finished Indigo, and let me tell you, best Beverly Jenkins book I've read so far. And I think honestly the difference is that in this one I liked Galen. I liked the hero. I thought he was actually sexy. I thought he was actually funny, and not just like the book telling me that Hester thought he was sexy and funny, but like he actually was like sexy and flirty, and like I felt the chemistry, and I guess I just like didn't have that in any of the other books as much, but I like really enjoyed this book. I'm still gonna give it like a 4. On Storygraph I gave it like a 4.25 because I just felt like the ending was like weirdly long but also rushed at the same time. Very strange. I don't know, like I really liked it. It was definitely my favorite Beverly Jenkins book so far. I'm so glad that I kept reading her books and trying them out, and this definitely solidified for me that like she has books that I'm gonna really love, so I'm gonna keep reading them. Like I'm not gonna give up on her. Obviously, why would I do that? But I'm not gonna give up on her, and I'm gonna keep reading them. I'm so excited. So I watched a few YouTube videos after that, and then I just spent a while on the phone with my friend Sarah. She lives in New Orleans, and I miss her a lot. So we were just catching up, and now I'm outside with my Kindle, and I am going to read The City in the Middle of the Night by Charlie Jane Anders. I started reading this book in the beginning of February. It was like that second book I mentioned where I read 50 pages, and so I have it from the library on my Kindle, and that is what I'm going to read. It is a sci-fi. So something I think I've mentioned before is that I want to read more sci-fi, and that I just like don't, even though I'm like very interested in it. And I think that's because a lot of the sci-fi that I like the best is more of that sci-fi fantasy blend. I do really enjoy sci-fi, I think, when I read it. So this is that, and it is about a like far distant future. Humans have settled on this planet, and one side is like icy night and one side is blistering day, and so they can really, a little windy, they can only really build and live effectively in that like little sliver down the middle of the planet where it's like kind of dusk. So that's what the book is about. I'm not really sure, like I don't really remember what the characters' names are, but I think in the first few chapters I've read there's a character who was raised on like the night side, and it's a little more, they're like a little more blue collar, whereas like the day side is a little bit more like upper class. And then she gets into like a university to like put off the, I think there's like a mandated you have to like get married and have a child thing. Not really sure, but the main character is part of some sort of like underground revolutionary group and gets carted away by police and like dumped into the wilderness. I don't remember. There's another character named Mouth who is a smuggler who I think is getting into something. Again, I've literally only read 50 pages, and a lot of the times when it comes to sci-fi and fantasy, I literally don't know what's going on for a lot of the book, and I still enjoy it. Like when it comes to like both Gideon the Ninth and Harrow the Ninth, I gave Gideon the Ninth 5 stars, I gave Harrow the Ninth 4.5 stars. I loved both of those books so fucking much. Most of those, both of them, I had no fucking clue what was going on. Couldn't explain it to you. I still can't probably explain it to you, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, understanding what's happening is not always a requirement for me to enjoy what I'm reading if the tone and the characters and everything is like good enough that I'm still enjoying it, if that makes any sense. I don't know why I'm talking so much, but I'm gonna get to reading and then we can talk a little bit later. Bye! I just filmed like a 5-minute clip complaining about this, and I realized no one wants to listen to that long, so I'm gonna try and condense. I fell asleep. I haven't been reading as much but as I wanted because I fell asleep, and I woke up and I received this text. Oh, I'm filming on my phone so I can't show you. Basically, my DMV appointment for Wednesday to register my car that I bought in November has been canceled. And I don't think I can explain how aggravating this is, but let me just summarize. On February 26th, I was pulled over for driving an unregistered vehicle and given a ticket for that and driving an uninspected vehicle. A car needs to be registered in New Jersey to be inspected. The last time this car had been inspected was 2015 because the previous owner had died. And I was like, well, I had been driving it because I tried to get it registered when I bought it. So my first appointment to get it registered was in November, and you have to schedule them way ahead of time because like I bought the car like the first week of November. My first appointment to try and get it registered was like the end of November, and I was like, well, I mean, I can get rides to work still. I don't need to be driving it yet. That got canceled like literally a couple days before. No time to plan. So I was like, okay, well, my next registered appointment to get the car registered is like mid-December, and it got canceled right before due to COVID as well, just like that one. My third try to register this fucking car was the first week of January. I get there and they're like, you don't have all the paperwork you need. You need papers that prove that the guy who sold you this car is legally allowed to give it to you because his mom was the actual legal owner of the car, so we need paperwork saying that he was like allowed to give it to you. And I'm like, okay, this was difficult because I have never interacted directly with the guy I bought the car from. He is like the brother-in-law of someone that I was related to through marriage, like through my cousins who I'm also related to through marriage, so it's like very distant. And I'd been working through kind of like this middleman, and she was just like not super responsive, and I got pulled over for driving an unregistered vehicle. I was like, oh shit, I need to get my shit together. And I got hit the paperwork, and I was like, okay, what's the soonest that I can possibly get an appointment to register my car from February 26th was March 17th. And I was like, okay, that's 2 weeks. Like my traffic court date was March 4th. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna prove to them that I am gonna do this, and you know, it's COVID, so they have to be a little bit more lenient, and hopefully they won't like make me pay these fines, because like I've been unemployed for months, but like I live in a house with 2 other people who need to go places, and it's hard to depend on them for a ride if I have a car, you know what I mean? And so I was like panicking about all of this, and then I felt like such this sense of relief because my court date got moved to the 18th, the day after my registration appointment. And I was like, whew, instead of having to prove to them that I am going to get my car registered, all I have to do is show them that I did, and hopefully they'll be a little bit more lenient. And I just got my registration appointment canceled again. And the earliest I can get in another appointment for is the 1st of April, which is after my court date, March 18th. And it's just like, and this one, it's just straight up in the text, it says, due to unforeseen circumstances. And I'm like, how am I supposed to do anything about this? How am I supposed to register this car, which at this point I've had since November. So November, December, January, February, March. So 5 months that I've had this unregistered vehicle. I've been trying to get it registered, but every time my appointment gets canceled, I have to wait another 3 weeks for an appointment. And it's like, how do they expect anyone to do, like, what do they expect people to do when like you can't get an appointment for the DMV because it gets canceled? You get there, it takes hours once you're there, and it's like this time I just was like, I guess I'll get an appointment at I've just been going to the closest registration like office, which is for me in Trenton, which is like literally a 10-minute drive away, and it's gotten canceled there every time. So I was like, fuck it, might as well go to another place. Literally, there is not a single DMV office like doing registrations closer to me than 45 minutes away. And it's like, if that's what I have to do, how do they expect people to do that? Not everyone can just take a day off to drive an hour to get their car registered when they have to be there all day to do it and like wait in lines outside with everyone. I'm not even gonna use this clip, but I'm so mad. Oh my god. Anyway, I guess I'll read to feel better. Take my mind off of it. Good morning. It is Monday now, so I've calmed down a little bit. I'm still really mad about the DMV thing, but like it's beyond my control, so like what am I supposed to do? Just have to like let it go and get over it. But it's about 8 now, and I don't have work until 4, so oh my gosh, it looks like I have this huge bald spot, but it's just where my bangs are. I have like a lot of the day to like relax and do stuff, so I just showered. I'm gonna start listening to Hood Feminism, I believe, which I think is by Mikki Kendall. I know the first name is Mikki, but I'm not sure what the last name is. I'll have it up on the screen. This is a nonfiction book about intersectional feminism and feminism's like interactions with the lives and struggles of Black women. So I'm really excited to read it. It's not going to take me too long to listen to the audiobook, which is really great, and I'm just chilling. So about to go make myself some breakfast once I get dressed, and it's gonna be a good day, and I'm gonna go for a walk later, and it's gonna be fine. Also, last night I got to about 25% of the city in the middle of the night, so progress. Hello. It is like 2:30 now. I just finished this scarf. I started it in January and then like didn't knit for a month, but I just finished it and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's like ribbed, so I like learned how to like knit and purl and alternate and do all that stuff, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm just gonna be wearing it. But I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. I didn't go for a walk. Maybe I'll go for a walk now. I don't know. But I am just about halfway through Hood Feminism by Mikki Kendall. It is Mikki Kendall. And I mean, it's exactly what I expected. It is, you know, examining how are a lot of issues that are not typically seen as feminist issues by like mainstream feminist leaders and a lot of the times. And a lot of those have to do with Black women or Black communities or poverty, and how poverty and issues with poverty aren't often seen as feminist issues, or they are in other countries but not in America. And it's really good so far. I'm still very interested to read the second half. It's probably gonna end up being like 4 stars. So I'm enjoying myself. Not enjoying myself because it's a lot of really difficult topics, but enjoying myself in that it's always nice to read or be listening to an audiobook of a book that is well written, well researched, and obviously written by somebody who knows what they're talking about. So it is a very positive reading experience, and thus far I would recommend it. So I'm doing that. I'm getting caught up on YouTube videos again, or at least that's what I was doing while I was knitting, and just having a good time. I missed books, even though like I spent a whole month reading still. I missed books. I missed BookTube. Like I was only out of it for a month, and suddenly I was like, I don't know what books people are talking about anymore because everything changes so quickly. So just having a good time. I'll talk to you a little bit later. Hello. How you doing today? She has been so sweet lately. Like, she's not a huge cuddler, but lately she's been like coming, like I'll be lying in bed and she'll like paw at the covers, and then when I lift up the covers she goes underneath and curls up next to me. So cute. Hi everyone, it is a little after 3:30. I'm on my way to work right now. Don't worry, this is not my car that I'm driving. This is another car. But I am working until 10 tonight, and then I have work at 8 tomorrow morning. So I think that this is going to be where I'm gonna like wrap up my thoughts, wrap up the vlog. I had a nice day yesterday for the most part. I mean, I finished a book. I finished Indigo by Beverly Jenkins, and I read up to like 25%. I'm almost at page 100 of The City in the Middle of the Night by Charlie Jane Anders, and I'm halfway through, or a little bit more than halfway through at this point, Hood Feminism, which I'm planning on finishing tonight after work. So overall, I'm feeling pretty good about the day. I mean, it's more books that I've read in a really long time because I just wasn't reading for a while. But I had a nice day, and I finished a scarf, and I hung out at my house, and I don't know, just relaxed. It was nice, and I hope you enjoyed the video as well, because it's been a while since I posted or filmed anything, and I feel a little out of practice, but also like pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you've been reading the past month. How did your February go? I don't know, because I wasn't here for any of it, but I hope your February went okay. Mine was pretty good, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!